Since 2002, we've been following the story of Hayley Okines. Hayley has a rare condition called progeria. There are only 54 known cases in the world.
My mum told me that like my body ages 8 times faster than normal children.
Hayley may be aging in fast forward, but what no one back in 2002 imagined was that science would move at a similar pace.
From having no hope at all in the beginning to now being given this new drug, it's just amazing.
When we last saw Hayley, that new drug had only been tested on mice. So she was heading to America to test it for real.
We've basically been told that Hayley is a guinea pig.
Made over 3 years, this film continues Hayley's remarkable story during an exciting period in her life. She is ready to finish primary school, but can a tiny tot, with a body in its 90s, cope in the less forgiving world of secondary school?
Everyone seemed really big and I'm tiny.
And, with her revolutionary treatment in America ongoing, can she look forward to a life beyond it? Hayley Okines is taking a huge step into the unknown. Together with her 5-year-old brother Lewis, Mum Kerry and Dad Mark, she's heading to America for the first ever progeria drug trial.
It was scary, but it was really exciting at the same time.
You know, we just didn't know what was going to happen to her after she started taking this stuff.
Where are you travelling to?
Boston.
Boston today.
This trip to Boston is for nothing less than the chance to extend her life and possibly even halt the disease that ravages her body. How are you feeling, Hayley?
Scared.
There was the emotions, are we doing the right thing? This is a drug that had never been used on progeria children, and should we really be giving it to Hayley? But it sounded to us like it was going to be the wonder drug.
I just kept on telling myself, you're going to get hair, you're going to grow taller, you're going to get hair.
The trials are being conducted in private. Our camera has to leave Hayley at the airport. What follows is the family's own footage. Hayley is spending 5 days in Boston's Children's Hospital.
You're working on the left arm there? Correct.
Before she can take the new drug, called farnesyl transferase inhibitor, or FTI, she has to be extensively tested. The test will determine if Hayley is ready to take the drug.
There are bits I don't like. Lots of casts. I still get butterflies in my tummy.
It was like an MOT for the human body, from the head down to her feet. It was everything, any test you can imagine.
What are you having done today?
DEXA scan.
What does the DEXA scan do?
Takes pictures of my body. Test to see how much energy I use when I'm resting and I wasn't allowed to eat. I might stay still in a bed for half an hour with this space I'm living in.
30 minutes, yeah. What are you having done, Hayley? What does an ECG do?
If they could, I would make it so there isn't any like big loud machines and needles, but I can't do that, so it's okay.
The tests also provide data, against which doctors can measure Hayley's progress every 16 weeks during the trial.
Wow, that's so great.
Wow, that's got it.
Hayley,
Oh, want me holding you? Okay.
so proud of you.
4 days in, the tests are complete. Tomorrow, Hayley will take the FTI drug that could change her life.
So one pill.
This is a very historic moment.
Yeah, you want to give me a smile? Want to give me a smile?
I took a tablet, it is not that big. It was really scary because I thought it would get stuck.
from sort of having no hope at all to now sitting there and she's got this pill in her hand that's hopefully and potentially going to make the ageing process slow down.
Hayley is the first child in the world to take the FTI tablets.
I suppose you put all your hope and your dreams into that because the doctors know best. But I mean, we've also been told that they don't really know what's going to happen. Big mouthfuls of drink. Another mouthful of drink.
Go on. Hey, hang on. Hey. Again.
But the celebratory mood doesn't last for long. As soon as they return home to Bexhill-on-Sea, the side effects of the new drug kick in.
I felt sick, and my mum and dad was really worried.
The side effects happened pretty quickly, I'd say within 2 days of her taking the pills.
It was really horrible because I was feeling sick, which made me really tired. So I slept and I didn't eat, which made me be sick again, and it just kept on going round and round like that for ages. And I was like, why am I taking this tablet? It's only making me worse.
That was scary. Like, we didn't know what was happening, but we got hold of the hospital and they put us on a drug that they use for chemotherapy patients to stop them being sick.
It actually got to a point where we looked at each other, myself and Mark, and wondered whether we were really doing the right thing.
Mark and Kerry's decision to carry on with the treatment is made with a clock ticking loudly in their minds. Hayley is now 11. Progeria children have an average life expectancy of just 13 years.
Hayley, what are you doing? Look at us. This was not long after Hayley was actually diagnosed, and I think at the time we still didn't really understand much about progeria and know what anything what was going to be happening about progeria.
Looking back on things like this, it does make you feel like you are doing the right thing. At the end of the day, she's our daughter, and she's just a little fighter as well, isn't she? That's what makes her unique.
It's the first ever progeria reunion in Washington DC in 2000. We knew it was going to be the first time we ever met another kid with progeria.
Since Hayley started attending progeria reunions in 2000, rarely a year has gone by without at least one death among the children.
And you think now from the first reunion there's only probably 4 that are still here?
I feel very lucky that I'm here now, instead of a couple of years ago. They passed away because it's just how it was.
Despite the unpleasant side effects, the treatment may have come just in time for Hayley. Over the past 18 months, Hayley Okines has made 5 trips to America for trials of the new progeria treatment that is hoped will stop her aging. When we next catch up with the family, the mood is more optimistic.
Ta-da!
That's your me.
Yeah.
Not pink. I cannot believe it.
No, blue is the new pink. Yeah.
The side effects from the treatment have receded, and today there's another reason to celebrate.
There you go.
It is a big milestone. Big 11. She was 2 years old and diagnosed. Didn't think we'd be getting to her 11th birthday, did you?
We never even thought about it, did we? A few years ago. And then we're sort of like looking forward to high school.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hayley.
Happy birthday to you.
Hey, listen, how do you feel about everything that's been going on in America? Has it made a difference?
I'm taller.
How much taller?
3 centimetres
3 centimetres
since February.
since February. I can feel that it's been going well, and if they wanted me to stop, they would have said, like, if it isn't doing anything.
Really?
I think it's going really well, and I think they think that as well.
And there are other small signs that the treatment may be working. So what have you noticed?
I've got eyebrows, and I've got eyelashes, and I've got hairs on my arms.
Can you show us?
It's hard to see. I'm turning into a monkey.
Have you got them anywhere else? Your mum said you had a moustache.
No.
No moustache. Your big dream was what?
To have hair on my head.
How's that gone?
Okay.
But it hasn't really happened quite how you thought, has it?
Yeah.
How did you feel about that when you sort of realised that it wasn't gonna, you know, you weren't gonna get sort of like lovely long hair like you wanted?
I was quite sad, but I can always get wigs.
By spring 2009, Hayley's drug trial is nearly over, with one more Boston trip to go. But the pace of research is moving faster than anyone could have imagined. Hayley's parents have received news of another drug trial, promising even better results. Like all medicines, there may be side effects.
Common side effects can include fatigue, anemia, muscle aches, fever, and or swelling in the feet and legs.
What's happened?
Well, we got this email saying they found out about another drug combination they want to use with the FTI, which is a synthetic statin, and the other drug is bisphosphonate. It's used for helping mainly elderly people, I believe, with their bones and that. It's a bit exciting, but again, it's like when we started off with the FTI trial, it's all a little bit scary.
It's not a very easy drug. It's a drug that's got to be intravenously done, so she's going to have an intravenous drip for like 30 minutes. And she's going to have some flu-like symptoms. So we was actually discussing whether we wanted to put Hayley through yet another horrible thing of needles, and just for maybe simply that's going to make her bones a little bit stronger and she may grow a little bit.
To help answer some of their questions, the family have turned to a progeria expert closer to home. Cell biologist Dr. Ian Kill studies the genetics of progeria and normal ageing at Brunel University.
Hutchinson-Gifford progeria, or simply progeria, is due to a mutation in a single gene, and that mutation means that a toxic protein rather than a normal protein is produced. And we believe that it's accumulation of that toxic protein that has been called progerin that causes premature aging.
The Brunel team have been implanting cells containing progerin, the toxic protein, into some very tiny hosts.
I work on fruit flies because fruit flies are basically exactly the same as you and me, only they're very small. I can grow millions upon millions of them. Do you want to see some?
Oh, do you want to have a look? And they got the same makeup as us?
They basically, yes, they have basically all the same genes, only slightly less of them. And they go through all the same kinds of changes during aging. Can you see them? We've put the same gene that causes progeria into the flies, and we've found that it causes the flies to go through some of the same changes to the whole organism as occurs in people.
Okay, so this is our tissue culture facility, and here we have some cells that originally came from somebody with progeria.
In lab tests, Hayley's trial drug, FTI, has been shown to block the pathway of the toxic protein, progerin.
Do you want to have a look?
But it does this at a late stage in the process, allowing the cells to find another route. So they need to be blocked earlier. And at an earlier stage, the pathway is the same as that of a very common enemy.
It turns out that the pathway is involved in the production of cholesterol. Now, that's important because we have already had access to drugs that reduce cholesterol in the body. And these include these things called bisphosphonates, and more importantly, they include these things called statins. And so, at least in this part of the pathway, the statins will be blocking anything down there. The upshot is that by using statins, you're much more likely to knock out the pathway, and so it's much more likely to be effective than FTIs on their own.
Most of the big long words they say, I don't really understand. And then this one, the new bisphosphonate, yeah, apparently it makes me have like headaches and achy bones and stuff. But yes, if they saying that it's going to make me even better, might as well do it.
Cells divided.
In the beginning, we weren't really making too many plans too far ahead because we was all expecting the worst to happen. We certainly hadn't talked about secondary school. We certainly weren't ever looking that far ahead in the future.
In 3 months' time, Hayley will start at Bexhill High, her local secondary school. To prepare, she's visiting with some friends from primary school.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bexhill High.
I wanted to be with all my friends, and they all said they're going to Bexhill High. So, like, I just said to my mum and dad, can I go to Bexhill High? I can definitely remember my mum, like, saying, don't you want to go to an all-girls school or something? I was like, no, I want to be with my friends, thank you very much.
I'd just like to point out some of the wonderful work that our Year 7s have been doing. This was in graphics, so this is a new skill that they've been learning this year about how to do perspective drawings.
What are you most excited about?
I'm mostly excited about making loads of friends, having a way bigger library than us, and I'm looking forward to dissecting a frog.
Now, I know that you've had a bring your pet to school day because I've just seen Simpson the tortoise in reception. However, what have you still got left in here that the students might like to look at?
This is a house snake.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
Can they touch it?
Yes. Touch it.
Go on, I dare you, girls.
Come on.
Yeah, the thing that scares me about snakes is their tongues.
After the tour, a question and answer session at which any concerns can be raised.
How would I get on, because I got severe eczema and I can't really take my jumper off, so I don't know how I would take it off if I get hot.
Your parents will fill a form in so that we know exactly what to do about that, okay? Any other questions?
Why do you get bullied if you're short?
Actually, we have very strong policies on bullying, all right? I'm not saying that at Bexhill High, we don't think about that, but actually it's not really an issue. Any other questions, Hayley? No, not at the moment. Any other questions?
Lydia.
Do you get to dissect a frog?
Have you heard a rumour? We do dissection, okay?
High school is the best thing to come to because you feel like you're grown up.
And you get to dissect a frog.
In 2 days' time, Hayley and her parents will travel to Boston to begin the new triple drug trial of FTIs, bisphosphonates and statins. Today they're completing a growth chart. Hayley's growth has to be monitored throughout the trial.
How much?
Says 112 centimetres, 44 inches. The last time we went to Boston, you was 107 centimetres.
Yeah.
And that was January we went.
5 centimetres.
Before the FTI trial started, I think it was probably about 2 centimetres every 6 months.
There's a definite difference you've noticed.
Definite, yeah, very far, like increase really fast.
I can see I'm taller because I used to stand up in the bath and I could never see myself in the mirror opposite the bath, but now I can easily. And I don't even have to stand on
Banging
tiptoe.
your head on the fridge.
Yeah, I couldn't hit my head on the fridge, but now I do. Because every time I feel like I've gotten stronger. Because usually at playtime at school when it's nice and warm, I go outside and I'll be doing star jumps and running around like a maniac all playtime. I don't know why.
Some encouraging signs.
Yeah, just fingers crossed.
One concern ahead of the Boston trip has been the amount of calcium in Hayley's kidneys. The bisphosphonate drug builds up calcium, so if Hayley has too much already, she will not be allowed to take the new treatment.
Dr. Wingcup, he's not exactly like a doctor to me. He's more like a friend.
Hello, lovely lady.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay.
You're fantastic. Come.
Dr. Graham Wingcup, Hayley's specialist, has the results of a kidney scan that will determine if she can begin the new drug trial.
Come and have a sit. Now, you've had your ultrasound scan. The good thing is there isn't any lumps or nasty things in there, so that's good. So everything's good to go. So your mum is going to take with you the disc that has all of the imaging on it. We know that the blood and the urine samples are normal and good for you to start. My hope is that they'll start you on the new medicine, and then we'll look at your kidney scan a few weeks after you come back, and just to make sure that it stays exactly as it is at the moment. So that's the plan. I'm very happy. We haven't done any investigations that have shown anything getting worse. From the kidney function, from the liver function, from the heart function, and from the effects of what the heart does, in other words, the blood pressure. So
By a fortunate coincidence, Hayley is already taking one part of the new medicine. Dr. Wingcup prescribed statins for Hayley's cardiovascular health 7 years ago, before the discovery that they blocked the pathway to the toxic protein which causes Hayley's ageing.
And then you're happy. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I can see from just like the physical side of it that she hasn't deteriorated in the last 2 years. She's got a little bit quiet, but I think that maybe that's just an age thing and high school coming up and things like that. But physically, she looks good.
You are certainly, without a shred of doubt, no worse than you were 2 years ago. And I would actually agree with your mum. I think your skin is better. I think you look better. And at no time am I giving you news that actually things aren't going as well as we'd hoped. If anything, they're going a lot better than we'd hoped.
With Dr. Wingcup's blessing, Hayley is now ready to participate in the new triple drug trial.
You could probably fit you in here. Come on.
Instead of waiting for the results of the first single drug trial, the researchers want to proceed with the new combination immediately.
I've been on the statin for a long time, and the bisphosphonate, I think that's how you pronounce it. That's new, and I was just like, oh wow, I'm going to be even better.
Got to keep optimistic about it, but it's still really frustrating for us because we want to get some positive, definite results from people. I'll be a lot happier when I get something down on paper saying that this stuff's working, or it's not working, or it's working to a certain degree. One or the other, one thing or the other. That's what we want to be hearing.
Hayley and her parents are placing total faith in the American doctors. Hayley Okines is in Boston for the second progeria drug trial, which uses a combination of 3 drugs.
It's trying to...
A new drug called bisphosphonate will be added to the FTIs and statins she is already on.
What's that in your arm?
It's an IV.
Wow. Did it hurt?
It hurt when I put it in, and I felt a bit sick, so I always got sick anyway.
Right though, yeah.
Unlike the other drugs, the bisphosphonates have to be injected, something Hayley has always dreaded.
It feels really weird.
Yeah, does it feel like it's leaking again? Yeah, it's funny because the cold travels up the arm where the vein is. If you think about it.
It's quite upset, but the bisphosphonate, because it's a needle, has the same for ages. It makes a snail look like a cheetah. No, yeah, stuff going in me.
What's happening, Hayley?
This is the new drug that's going in my arm now.
Right, it's going in there.
Very, very slowly.
Very slowly through that machine here. We was going out here under the impression it was going to be quite a hard week, and it did turn out like that. But everybody was sort of pretty happy. They was all giving us a thumbs up, and everybody kept smiling. So that's what we're looking for at the end of the day. If the doctors keep smiling, then we're quite happy about it.
As before, Hayley and her parents are taking a huge leap of faith. 3 weeks later, Hayley is preparing to begin the next stage of her life. It's the first day of secondary school.
It's my tie.
It's on your trousers. Oh, you can do it.
Hayley may have a different tie, but the new high school student is wearing the same size of clothes that she wore when we filmed her starting infant school.
That's the smallest one they had. It's a little bit big, but it'll do. It might shrink a little bit when it's been washed, so.
Ta-da!
That looks alright, looks nice. I'm going to do tablets over there.
Before Hayley leaves, she has to take half of her daily dose of the FTI drug.
I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm sure she's going to get on fine. You're not nervous yet?
I will be later.
Oh, you will be in a minute. You'll be fine.
I'm
just really excited for her. Such a big milestone. Proud of her.
Good luck.
Thank you.
What about Ruby? Ruby, get a kiss?
Can I do too on your lips?
Don't bring too much homework home. Alright, have a
Come
nice
on.
day.
We're here.
Right, do you want to put that on? You sure you want me to leave you here?
You're sweaty.
Have a nice day.
Bye. Stop staring at me.
Sure you don't want me to come in?
I'm sure. Bye. I love
Street
you.
cred.
Bye.
Love you.
Oh, I feel sick. It's weird because everyone's like really big and then tiny.
You know what she's going to be? 70, it's just across that same degree.
In primary school, there's like little kids as well, and they're like the same size as me, and now it's like we're the little kids. It's kind of scary because like, what if someone knocks me over?
Can we all stand, please, and welcome Mr. Cole.
Morning, Mr. Edwards. Thank you very much indeed. Good morning, Year 7.
Good morning, Mr. Cole.
Please sit down. My goodness, look how smart you are. Today is the beginning of a journey. And it's this 5-year journey that helps you to prepare to make choices for your future. There are some very important things you need to remember about being part of the community of Bexhill High. Firstly, absolutely no violence. And that doesn't mean just fighting, it means pushing around and shoving and wanting to get to the front to the queue and being rude to somebody. All of those things are totally unacceptable in our community. Understood by everybody? Good. Welcome to Bexhill High. You are part of it.
I wonder whether we could move that little row of lads at the back over there. We've got a bit of room here.
My chair's too low.
Because Hayley has chosen to attend a mainstream school, certain special provisions have been made for her.
If you notice where she's sitting, it's actually on a special desk. She has 3 different chairs, that one of which stays in her form room, and the 2 other are more lightweight, actually follow her round.
But Hayley is less than happy with the arrangement and soon decides to sit with her friends.
It's up to Hayley.
I had my friends from my old class, and all of them moved up to this school, apart from 2. So that was good, I had them with me.
Seriously?
I know, I think the playground is really big, because we used to kind of a little kind of one, and now it's just like ginormous. and it's kind of scary, because like, everywhere I go, it's just like really busy. So I don't want to go outside because I don't like... It's boring.
Why do you prefer it in here to outside?
Because all you do outside is just stand there. There's nothing to do.
Gentle. And there's loads of people shouting. You don't get shouting in here.
No, you don't get shouting.
My friends are amazing. Without them, I don't know what I'd do. They're like, if someone's staring at me, they'd be like, stop staring and leave her alone. So they're really nice and kind and stand up for me.
I thought it meant twist.
Sometimes they have to stand on their knees to talk to me, and I'm just like, stand up, I can't hear you.
I am like, so nervous. So, you too. Bye.
Oh, you told me your classroom.
I'm not going to bring my phone in tomorrow because it rang in the middle of class.
Did it?
And it was really loud, and everyone looked at me. It was really embarrassing. Sorry. I'm sorry.
You're okay. Literacy plus across here. Alright? Alright? Good.
Hayley's school day ends slightly earlier than her friends, so that she can avoid getting caught in the after-school rush.
It wasn't the first bit.
When we next catch up with Hayley after a long winter, it's back at the hospital. She's attending a CT scan that will indicate her risk of heart disease, the main killer in progeria children.
Let's have a look. That's just right, isn't it? That's perfect. You look like a doctor.
The scan has been arranged by Hayley's heart specialist, Dr. Winkup.
We saw him a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? And he said that he was really pleased with her, and he says he can see an improvement from sort of even like a year ago. So yeah, it's very positive.
So what do you put that down to?
I just think it's a combination of lots of things. The FTI, statin that she takes, and possibly the new bisphosphonate drug as well. So it's like the trials are working.
Yeah, it looks like something's certainly working anyway. Because as I say, we're not seeing big deterioration in Hayley, which is something we've seen the kids over the years, and we've seen some of them that are
She was here last week as well and saw a doctor that she hadn't seen for about a year, and he said that he could see sort of facial changes, that her cheeks looked puffier, her skin looked quite clear and nice, and even he said that from a year that he can see like big improvement.
The machine scans for the build-up of calcium in the walls of the arteries of the heart.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these little leads at different stages of your chest, okay? You're going to put one near your right shoulder, one near your left shoulder, and one down near your tummy.
Oh yeah, we should have warned you about how ticklish it is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Everyone says I'm brave. I'm brave with like the hospital and stuff, but out of hospital I'm a big wimp. I'm scared of spiders and the dark even.
The machine's going to get a little bit noisy, but not as noisy as the MRI scanner, Hayley, okay? If you want Mummy or Daddy in here, if you really do...
Hardening of the arteries will be a key danger sign, much as it is with older people. Based on the calculation often used when talking about progeria, Hayley's body should be equivalent of someone in her mid-90s.
I'm going to be just outside that door. You want me to wait? Splashed with food.
Heavy. Yeah. It's a bit scary. Your mum will be in.
Breathe in and hold your breath. Breathe normally.
We'd expect someone certainly up to the age of 40, 45 to have no calcium in their arteries. Depending on what risk factors you've got, then you will develop hardening of the arteries, and the more risk factors you've got, be it lifestyle or congenital problems, the more likely you are to have coronary artery disease.
There's already been plenty of good news about the effects of Hayley's treatment, but the results of this scan will be a key indication of its success.
And then Dr. Giles is going to show you your pictures, isn't he?
Wow. Okay. This is your chest, and that's your heart, and what we're looking for is little white dots in the arteries, but we can't see any. Okay. You did real well. It's good. Okay.
Wow. Not many people get to see their heart.
This has demonstrated that there is no sign of any hardening of the arteries that we can see.
What you see here, does it compare to a typical child or perhaps a typical older person?
This would be a typical child.
Hayley is having a sleepover with some friends. She has now spent almost 3 years on trial medication to treat her progeria. Without treatment, she would be expected to have the cardiovascular system of someone in their 90s. But recent tests on her arteries indicate it's closer to that of her friends.
I can't do like handstands and cartwheels like most people can. But I don't feel like an old lady.
I think there's definitely something happening inside her body, whether it's just her strength to carry on and just make sure that everyone's all right. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
The official test results have still not been released. For now, Hayley and her parents have to carry on with the treatment and look for whatever signs they can find for hope.
We feel pretty confident in knowing that everything's being done that can be done to help her. And we're watching the doctors. I always watch them when they're doing the tests on Hayley, and when they smile at the end of them, then we know that everything's not going too bad.
Hayley, put that one on, please.
I do feel a bit more hopeful that progeria is going to be cured and they will find something, and hopefully we have found something.
I'm serious. You can start calming down in a minute.
I'm going to mine. Alright, fingers. Me!
No. Celebrations
mine,
mine.
Mine.
hands in there.
Can we watch first just want to have fun? I love that.
No.
Hayley, cousin Pringles.
At secondary school, Hayley is nearing the end of her first year.
2 more minutes, please.
It's gone really quickly, actually. I like art and ICT. All the other lessons I'm not too keen on.
I mean, strength of character is amazing. I mean, she's really puts into perspective other kids' issues when she just takes it head on and, you know, it doesn't bother her. The rest of the kids are very aware of her, though. You know, it's kind of a little sister kind of situation. They do sort of, you know, keep an eye on her, so it's good.
On the first day, I just didn't want to get knocked over or anything, so we stayed inside. But if it's nice weather outside, then I do go outside now. There's lots of kids playing football and stuff, so it does get crazy outside. But I always have my friends around me and the teacher, and if I walk past the people playing football, I run. And I make sure my friend stands in front of me.
Right, remember, we did key words. One of them was origami. Now what we've got here...
The way things are going, do you see her completing her school, for example?
I do. I don't think there's any problem academically, whether obviously her health is strong enough to take her through that whole period. I mean, occasionally she gets tired, but I don't see any reason why she can't go all the way through.
Fold it up. Now you've got your little origami cup.
Hayley is beginning a journey into adulthood, and a remarkable childhood is almost behind her. We've been observing her throughout, but she has never seen these films. We wanted to know what she thought of the journey she had come on. So we showed Hayley our documentary from 2002.
Such as cataracts or Alzheimer's, their brains remain completely intact. They're very, in fact, very bright, sweet little children. They kept saying that I was being overprotective. It was my first child, and I was talking about basically nothing. And it was only when she was a year old that they started looking into it.
Doctor at the hospital said she may have progeria, and they gave us a bit of paper with progeria written on it, and that's all we had.
I think that they've been great parents and looking after me and trying to cope with all the treatment and finding out about progeria and stuff like that. I think to myself sometimes, how can they live with me?
But there is no cure for progeria. This kind of basic supported treatment is all that's available.
And it seems really weird hearing them say that, because like, there is hope, there is a new cure, and it's kind of weird hearing them say that then, now they're like, oh yeah, it's going to work, yay.
You go.
Now she's made school, that's a big milestone. Now we'll look forward to, like, is she going to finish school? Will she ever go to secondary school? Will she be one of the unlucky ones that doesn't live very long?
This is the start of a new chapter in the family's life. For Hayley, it's a rite of passage. For Mark and Kerry, it's a leap of faith. From now on, they'll be entrusting part of Hayley's life to someone else.
Gonna be a photographer. I definitely know that. Just because people are saying that I'm gonna have a very, very short life doesn't mean that I'm gonna. People said that Titanic wouldn't sink, and it did. And then there's all these scientists saying I'm gonna live maybe till I'm like 13, 14. And I think I'm gonna live much longer than that.